Welcome my beloveds. This video will be the first video for my feminine profile series, where I'll be deconstructing what makes these women high-value women. The purpose of my feminine profile series is to show you real-life examples of high-value women and how you can use their lives as a masterclass for your own feminine journey. Since I'm also on my own journey, I do want to make note that this journey isn't the kind that has a destination, or at least that's what I think. Being on a feminine journey is like wine. It tastes better the older it gets. This doesn't mean that it was unbearable in the beginning, no. And so is the feminine journey. The reason why I started my feminine journey is so I can learn to embrace my femininity as a woman. Society has made it seem like women can't be successful and feminine at the same time, or at least that's how I have perceived it. In the sense that the typical average woman has to take on the survival, harsh and masculine persona to get through life without embracing her femininity. Or that femininity can only mean this hypersexualized or aggressive energy that we see a lot in the media, which isn't wrong, and I'm not shaming, just to be clear. Or even worse, that a feminine woman can only be successful if she gives sexual advances to get far in her career or whatever aspect of her life. I'm not saying that you can't be a high-value feminine woman if you choose that. I'm simply trying to start a conversation around femininity as we know it. Truth is, there is something about a high-value woman who embraces her femininity that threatens society. Simply because she can build on her own and would require high-value people around her, leaving low-value people in a position where they can't take advantage of her. And when I say low-value people, I mean people who manipulate, take advantage, and have very little to no good intentions for you, and will only bring no value to your life or can only bring pain and suffering in abundance. By means of the series, I do not intend to make you compare yourself to the woman I'll be profiling. What they may have does not mean that you lack in any way, or that you need to copy their lifestyle. No. I want to state that being a high-value woman or a feminine woman does not look like a specific person only. We are far too diverse to be boxed into one look. And most importantly, being a high-value woman or a feminine woman has little to do with your outside appearance, but mostly to do with who you are as an individual. And if you have a goal plan for your life and the discipline to achieve it, you need to always remember that a blessing delayed is not a blessing denied. So please do not think that in order to be a high-value woman, you need to imitate others. So if you're not sure on how to become a high-value woman, please check out my video on how to become a high-value woman. I will leave a link to a video in the description bar below. So let's get started. In this particular video, I'll be profiling Kefilwe Mabote. I wanted to start with her because she's one of the high-value women that I look up to and is currently a fave. So for a brief intro on Kefilwe Mabote, who is also known as Kefilwe, is one of South Africa's top award-winning influencers, author, image consultant, and entrepreneur. At the age of 31, she has accumulated about 1 million followers on Instagram and has worked on just over 180 projects in the fashion and lifestyle industry. She grew up in Soweto, and in her words, she's a Kasi girl. In an interview with Top Billing, she states that she studied her BCom in accounting at UNISA. However, people would compliment her on her style and soon started asking her for help in their own style. And that's where she realized the potential to change the industry. I'll be going over some feminine qualities that make her a high-value woman. Kefilwe is loved and admired by many South Africans, and here's why. Number 1, she's independent. In her book titled Kefilwe Mabote, Influencer Deluxe, she tells us how she first started working in the fashion industry as a sales assistant at a men's boutique. Working really hard, she managed to get salary increases. As the workload demanded more of her time, she decided to quit. Being unemployed for some time made her extremely unsettled. I want to make note that a lot of people may take this moment to recharge themselves, which is totally okay. However, there should be an uncomforting energy with being unemployed for too long. Many people can fall into the trap of being far too relaxed for far too long, and this will take away from your hustler's energy and your goals in the long run. And in South Africa, there's a lot of emotional stress that can come with that if left unattended for too long, and can even lead to depression. So, in that moment, Kefilwe was very aware that she needed to start making an income, or else she would not achieve some of her goals. For some people, this could leave them in a position to depend on others for financial aid, especially if they have a very fixed idea how their next income is going to look like. Kefilwe then went on to venture on many different forms of income, from selling herbal life products to starting a modeling agency and other business ventures. What I want you to take away from this is that Kefilwe cultivated an entrepreneurial mindset. This is the best kind of mindset anyone can have to build financial independence. A woman who's built their own financial independence has much more room for high standards. When you can build your own table, you choose who sits at it. This doesn't mean that you need to make your first million within 3 months, no. But what I'm saying is that you need to realize your potential and that the life you want can only be given to you by yourself. A high-value woman knows what she wants out of life and therefore will not wait on the world to give it to her. And this is why independence is so important. You're far less limited to do the things that you want. On Instagram, you get a peek into Kefilwe's lifestyle, and from what I see, she enjoys the luxury life. And to be quite honest, I don't know anyone who wouldn't if they had the option. Anyway, this lifestyle that she enjoys is provided to her by the fruits of her own hard labor. So it's easy for the average person who isn't born into that lifestyle to think that she earned it overnight, simply because we have only started seeing into her life when she has acquired so much more. With that said, please remember that Kefilwe took years to build what we see now. So patience and discipline is very crucial. What I'd like you to remember is that you need to build a tunnel vision for your goals. Kefilwe studied a BCom and then worked mostly in the fashion and retail industry. But what she studied is very applicable to those industries. However, most people in high school or in varsity will by default think that the corporate industry is where someone with that degree will end up. Career changes are real. As long as you maintain your tunnel vision, you'll be alright. Number 2, she surrounds herself with like-minded people. Kefilwe is a woman who is very aware of the people in her life. She is less likely to surround herself with people whose goals, intentions, or even morals are not in alignment with hers. As someone who was bullied in the past, she is aware of how big of a role emotions play in everyone's life. This would ultimately lead her to protect her own energy. So please take the time to know who is a friend in your circle and who is an associate. This goes back to the whole table thing. Some people might only have one person sitting at their table, which others may think is a bad or an embarrassing thing. But what would you prefer? Having one person at your table that you can grow with, or 50 people at your table who can bring absolutely no value to your life? Let me know in the comment section below. I do want to speak about knowing the difference between your friends and associates, or rather those that really have your back. You can always open up about your fears and vulnerabilities to those that truly have your back, because they're the ones who will protect and support you genuinely. Please do not put yourself in a space where negative people have access to you on a deep level or can use your vulnerabilities to their advantage. I understand that learning this can take some time, so give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos so we can journey this together. A high-value woman brings worth into other people's life. However, this is a two-way street. If people are only taking from you, then you need to reevaluate why you're still there. Remember, the life you're trying to build and who you surround yourself with will determine how successful you are. It's important that you surround yourself with very intentional people. And trust me when I say this, that it's okay to judge people on their actions and not what they say. This will save you so much time and energy. One of my favorite quotes, who I actually don't know who it's by, states that you should surround yourself with people who make you hungry for life, who touch your heart and nourish your soul. That's the only way you're going to grow, and something tells me that Kefilwe would agree. As a young woman growing up in South Africa, and I believe this happens all over the world, I've noticed how some people that we may even call friends would rather spend their time and money doing activities that aren't going to help you grow. Now, I don't want to be misunderstood when I say this, but if your friends would rather spend time with you komjaivong or getting drunk, but don't want you to travel, please assess that relationship. I'm not saying that you can't go to Groove or that it's a bad thing, but if the intention of Groove is to have fun, wouldn't you guys want to explore other new worlds of fun? Like wine tasting, paintballing, traveling, game drives, art exhibitions, which are free by the way, and so forth. And with that said, please be careful of the friends that would rather see you getting lit in the club than investing that money or using it to improve any aspect of your life. Some people may seem like their intentions are truly pure, but again, their actions will say a whole lot more. So be very wary at who's sitting at your table. And remember that it's your table, so you decide who sits at it. This leads me to my third point, her appearance. Kefilwe Mabote understands that her appearance says a lot about her, and most importantly, is an expression of herself. Working as an image consultant, she had the opportunity to improve how her clients want to be perceived by others through their appearance. So it's imperative that you know the difference between how you want to be perceived by other people, your own self-perception, and how people actually perceive you. In an ideal world, your appearance wouldn't matter, but societal expectations have made appearance and beauty a highly important factor. It's how the world survives and is further able to categorize people. Kefilwe is a very beautiful woman, and in her book she talks about how she was bullied for her beauty. A YouTuber by the name of Tinua states how certain people can benefit from the hierarchy of beauty standards, which I believe is true. With that said, not everyone is born with the features that will pass for the ultimate beauty standards. And while some people spend good amounts of time trying to acquire it, it's important that we acknowledge that many people may feel like women that look like Kefilwe Mabote are afforded certain privileges because of their beauty. This system of standards is fueled by the fashion industry and the beauty industry, by specifically targeting women's insecurities. And most importantly, these expectations were not created by women. And so moving forward, even though Kefilwe is a beautiful woman, and in some instances may even benefit from the hierarchy of beauty standards, she is certainly not reduced to just her beauty. Earlier I mentioned that it's imperative that you know the difference between how you want to be perceived by other people, your own self-perception, and how people actually perceive you. How you perceive yourself will depend on your values and standards. Most people are likely to express how they want to be perceived by others through fashion. An example of this is if you go on a first date. You're less likely to wear what you'd wear on a Sunday afternoon chilling at home. How you dress for the first date is how you want your date to perceive you. When it comes to Kefilwe's fashion, she serves class and elegance, and I assume that's how she wants the world to perceive her. In my previous video, I did mention that if you aren't sure on how you want to be perceived, create a vision board or a lookbook of the high-value women that you look up to and take notes of how you can incorporate that into your style. But please make sure that you stay true to yourself in doing so. Number 4, her personality. From what I've seen on social media, she's a very kind and fun, youthful person. Now, I understand that majority of our personalities are carved by the experiences that we encounter, learned behavior, and environmental conditioning. However, we are 100% responsible of our personalities, and most importantly, how we treat ourselves and others. Now, from time to time, we encounter different kinds of people who bring out different kinds of reactions out of us. And some of these aren't kind experiences. Being kind is a big part of being a high-value feminine woman. But that doesn't mean that you should let the world take you for a boost. Low-value people vet out kind people. It's easier to manipulate and to take advantage from someone who's kind. And society has made it seem like to be kind is to be used and always putting yourself last, which is the furthest thing from the truth. So please, be kind to yourself first. Your personality is very impactful, regardless whether it's positive or negative. So be aware of that and use that as a tool to achieve your goals and to protect your energy. Number 5, she's mysterious. Even though Kefilwe shares a lot on social media, we still don't know much about her personal life. She did a live Q&A not so long ago, and in it people were very curious about her romantic life. She didn't disclose that part of her life for the main reason that it's none of our business. And so most people need to start adopting that kind of approach. Once you let people into your personal life, they will forever feel entitled to everything that's happening in your personal life. I always say, protect your energy. People don't need to know your business. Also, being mysterious brings a sense of allure. People get intrigued by what they don't know. And so this could be the reason why so many people are so curious about her personal life. And for a bonus, Kefilwe is a woman who looks after herself, and as a high-value woman, or anyone actually, you live in a body. Take care of your body and your body will take care of you. Your mental, emotional, and physical health need to be looked after. No one can function in this world to their full potential if one is lacking. And trust me when I say this, that this is work, or this is the kind of work that is never ending. You can't work out once and think that you'll be healthy for the rest of your life. You can't read one good book and think that you'll be sorted for the rest of your life. This is something that you need to constantly look after. And trust me when I say this, that the journey is beautiful. So feed your body components of life and you'll be full of life. Good food equals a happy body. Take workout seriously. And when I say this, I don't mean you should look like Tiana Taylor. If that's something you want, then that's fine for you. But just as long as your body is healthy, then you're good to go. As for your emotional and mental health, by far this is one of the most important. No one can do the work for you. Well, the same goes for your physical health. But no one can do the work for you. And sometimes it's really hard letting go or unlearning so many things. But it's possible. Your mind and your intellect will help you survive this world. So it's important that as a high-value woman, you take care of that. So for a quick recap on what makes Kefilwe a high-value woman. She's independent, she surrounds herself with like-minded people, she's intentional about her appearance, she has a kind personality, and she's mysterious. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think about the Feminine Profile series and who you would like me to cover next. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. I love you to bits. See you soon.